Hey people, it's CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 40 of Apollo Justice. Last time, we basically finished up the first trial portion, in which Vera was given acute artequinine poisoning, and before we could figure out who basically tasked her with the very first forgery she ever did, the forgery that caused Phoenix to lose her job. His badge. Well, the first forgery that wasn't a painting. Anyways, now we're playing as Phoenix as we flash back to his final trial. In which case, we're about to meet the biggest jerk, one of the biggest jerks in the entire series. Gotta try and relax. Oh, I feel so good to use my normal voice again. And here he is! CzarThwomp! The second biggest jerk in the series. And mind you, that also includes Blaze the Best, Mary Von Karma, and Damon Gant. Because you can at least reason that they had some reason to be assholes. But the Gramayes take that to a whole new level. As if they were trying to find all good and snuff it out. Ah, good morning, Mr. Enigma. I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous defense attorney only yesterday. Honestly, I'm not even entirely sure I'm prepared. I understand I am asking the impossible of you. Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. No, bold boy! Do you expect me to help you out? After all, I'm Zach motherfucking Gromai. I don't care about you. After all, Zach Gromai is a big fat jerk. You're gonna be hearing that a lot. I'm prepping you. All what we did was play cards. And that was enough. Actually, it wasn't. Trust me. And then we get little Trucy.
Oh, morning, Daddy.
Oh, I'm so glad you came.
You okay, Daddy? They picking on you?
Oh, honey, don't worry. Daddy's picking on them. I am fine, as always. This old boy is here to help me, after all. That's young man to you. I know what you are, old boy. Good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on.
Thanks, my first show today, after all.
Oh, I'm sure it is. What the heck is she talking about?
Oh, old boy.
Huh? Me? Look where you started.
Here.
What's this?
I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. The guy looked like a lady. They said it was really important.
And that was how Trucy indirectly ruined Phoenix's life. What's this? A memo for you of some such? Not from the look of it. What is it? Looks like a page from someone's diary. At this point, just any fan of the Ace Attorney series, they just want to say, "No, Papa Phoenix!" Slap that diary page out of his hand. "No, Papa Phoenix! Don't touch that!" I'll give it a read later. Well, how do you feel about the trial today? We'll get through it somehow. Incidentally, the prosecutor today is a new guy, I hear. Ah, an easy win then, yes? They're calling him a true thoroughbred in the history of the prosecutor's office. Of course, there's one of those every year. Exactly! Edgeworth, Francisca, Godo. That little boy who cried wolf to Phoenix. But what would have been hilarious that Sebastian comes up. Because this case actually does take place very shortly after the events of Investigations 2. So basically, Sebastian could have very well been a prosecutor at this point. After all, Sebastian is technically has a month more of experience than Klavier. The switching of attorneys just before the trial. I know it's a difficult situation I put you in. But I don't give a damn! Allow me to say one thing, Mr. Wright. Yes? They will not be able to pronounce me guilty today. So do your best, but do not worry. I'll screw your life up! First time a defendant's ever given me a pep speech. I'll do what I can. Ha 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 ha! I see you do not understand. You see, it would be impossible for them to declare a verdict. Impossible? Yes. Isn't that right, Trucy?
Yep, you bet, Daddy.
My first look at this case was only yesterday, and the information I was given was a tad bit lacking, to be honest. Still, I'll do what I can for their sake. I believe the curtains will be lifting any time now. I am in your capable hands, Mr. Wright. My client is Shady Enigmar, known to the world as Zachariah. I only took this case because Maya wouldn't stop calling me from Karain.
Nick, Zachariah's in jail!
So? Remember when we went to the last show of his? He threw a rock at me! And his partner started yelling insults at me!
Yeah, Nick, but he's popular. You gotta take the case.
A wildly popular magician, Tsar Gramaye. His mentor, Magnific Gramaye, was a rare breed of magician. He was the biggest asshole I had ever seen. He single-handedly ushered in a golden age of stage magic and a dark age of social decency. Until he was shot dead. And Zachariah is the suspect. April 19th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 7. Court is now in session. Court is now in session for the trial of Shady Enigmar. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Is the prosecution ready? Yeah, and I love how they just go with the old courtroom look.
I was just thinking.
Is this what all the fuss is about? Bit of a buzzkill, really. Buzzkill? Is this some kind of new kind of crime? Was, this is a trial, huh? Where the sweaty bombs, the pounding hearts? A Gavin has got 10 times the thrill this gig's got. Where are you again? Klavier Gavin. I came to get the party started legally, huh? Gavin, Defense Attorney Christoph Gavin's. Figures my bro's more popular in this part of town. Yes, apparently the Gavin brothers have territory. Klavier, you are intruding on my territory again. Klavier Gavin, lead singer for the mega hit band, the Gaviners. You're out of your league, rock boy. I know what you're thinking. You're out of your league, rock boy. True, my debut single, 13 Years Hard Time for Love, went platinum overnight. But that was just a hobby to me compared to this, ja. Talkative, aren't you? I like your affected Euro rock accent, by the way. I'm just getting found out, Herr Tunny, right? Perhaps you would be so kind as to fill us in on this case. Action, baby! Time to go on the opening act. What was his name again? Yeah, Dick Gumshoe. Hit it! And you are? Hey, you are the one who called me up here, soy. Name's Dick Gumshoe. I'm a homicide detective down at the precinct. Detective Gumshoe? Long time no see. Hey, you! Huh? Me? Today's the day, pal. Today I win and you lose. You don't know what I've been up to these past few weeks. Mr. Edgeworth and I went on adventures, and Mr. Edgeworth trained me in his ways of logic. I now know the world. I've taken down the book, a smuggling ring, and a corrupt PIC, and some weird mastermind guy with a really complex past. I'm ready to take you on, pal. I got comments in my testimony today. See? I got a pay raise! What happened? You normally lack comments in your testimony? Detectives, this is my stage. Kanzi antics. Huh? All this hey youing and such. And I could care less about your history together. Who are you to order me around? You're not Mr. Edgeworth! Mr. Edgeworth could smite you with his powers! Mr. Edgeworth, you think you're a rocker? Mr. Edgeworth, he plays the flute! He plays a classy instrument! Very well, Detective Gumshoe, if you would. Please tell us about the case at hand. But this is sad, because in terms of the timeline, this is at the time of recording this is the last time we see Gumshoe. Yeah, I've been 6 days back, in a room at the General Hospital. The facts are as simple as they come. Here's the crime scene. The victim was a patient, asleep in a hospital bed. The killer comes in, puts a pistol to his forehead, and bam! Lights out! Them's the facts. Not so long ago, the victim, Magnific Gramaye, was a famous man. He had the entire country under his magical spell, as it were. Yeah, the great magician. He retired years ago, though. Say the name Magnific to one of my generation, and you'll be lucky to get a blank stare. Yes, though I'm sure the youngsters today know his disciples even better. I dare say Troop Grammaire has made quite a name for themselves. Anyhow, the retired McNamee's been in the hospital for the last year. What was it? A mal-ignorant tumor or something? Doing something to his, liver, I think? Yeah. A malignant tumor, perhaps?
In other words, he had liver cancer. He had only 3 months left to live, in fact.
The facts do seem simple enough, but something's not right.
The victim was already climbing a 3-month stairway to heaven. Why not wait for him to knock, knock, knock on heaven's door? Why shoot him? Simple, because heaven wouldn't want him. Really? Magnifi going to heaven? Really, Klavier? Really? I know that you don't know the dark secrets of Troop Grammaire, but Magnifi was no happy man. Look at this face. This is not the face of someone who is a positive role model in the community. This is the kind of guy who comes after you in the night and just takes your children to use them in blood sacrifices. Literally, like Magnifi, he's like to himself, I will crush you. I will make sure you do not rise again. You will die here in my hands as I laugh at your war. I wouldn't have put it quite so lyrically, but it's true. Why make the effort to commit murder when the victim was about to die?
Incidentally, the victim had a serious case of diabetes.
Diabetes? In fact, he was about to shoot up with insulin when he was shot with a pistol syringe found at the crime scene. Chronic diabetes and cancer. As much as it pains me to say it, the victim was clearly at the end of his life. Ah, what the heck? Freaking Magnifi haunting me? I will not allow you to insult my legacy, CzarThwomp. I don't know, I can just picture Magnifi having that kind of accent.
I believe the question was clear then. Why did the killer have to shoot this dying man? What reason could he have had?
Very well, detective. Perhaps you can enlighten us to the circumstances of the shooting.
Yes, sir! Actually, the victim kinda ordered the defendant to do him in. A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder. The defendant did what was asked of him and shot the old man in the forehead. The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene. No doubt about it. And the pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sorry. What? You're saying the victim ordered his own shooting?
Those are the facts. Here's the letter in question. Magnifi's letter.
Very unusual indeed. Although, could such a thing as a letter really cause one to pull a trigger, I wonder?
I believe the answer to that question can be found at the end of the letter.
Ah, you cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Detective Gumshoe, can you explain this to the court? Unfortunately, even the defendant won't say a peep about that bit, Zoe.
One thing bothers me about this. Why didn't he just say 11? Why have him come at 11:05 without some specific reason? The devil is in the details, Herr Attorney.
Was there some reason?
As it turns out, there was. Every night, for a half hour, starting at 11 o'clock, the victim, Magnifi Grammaire, was given an IV. An IV?
There it is in the picture, off the side of the bed.
At 11 o'clock, a doctor would come to set the IV. 30 minutes later, he would come back for the empty bag. This happened every night without fail. So that was the only time they could meet without the chance of an untimely interruption. During his IV.
Very well, shall we begin? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination if you would.
What's this reason he couldn't refuse, I wonder? He could have at least mentioned it to me. Oh, but why would I, boy? After all, Grammaire is a big fat jerk. Doo-doo-doo. Just because he got the letter doesn't mean he went through with it. Oh, I disagree. The victim was indeed shot in the forehead, after all, just as he had commanded. It could have been a setup. But let's not be in such a hurry. Maybe we should let the witness talk for a change.
Thanks, pal!
Fine, I can play it slow as well as I can play it fast. With the way, Detective Gumshoe. And this letter was sent by the victim.
There it is! Gotcha! You're mine this time, pal! Logic Palace!
And then Gumshoe summons the logic chest. But what's happening?
Mr. Edgeworth taught me this technique. It's called Logic Chess! Do-do! 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 Do-do-do-do! Huh? I had the handwriting checked out. Of course it's the victim's. No mistake.
Oh, I see.
Let's go one for the boys. Let's go one for Team Edgeworth.
I didn't lose. I was just ascertaining the facts. So why am I so annoyed?
But a letter ordering your own death? Things aren't what they used to be, I guess.
I'm not sure this is exactly commonplace, even now, Your Honor.
So anyways, guess I'll keep going while I'm ahead.
How can you be so sure?
Hey, you gotta learn to stop relying on people to do your thinking for you, pal. You're not me. Learn to think for yourself. Get that noggin cranking.
Coming from you, Gumshoe, the man who didn't know what logic was? You failed to grasp the concept of questioning, detective.
First, we got this letter. It says shoot in the forehead, loud and clear.
I can see that, but I still wouldn't do it.
Well, maybe you need to grow yourself a backbone, pal.
You failed to grasp the concept of shooting people is bad, detective. And then Sebastian, really? I didn't know that! Huh, you learn that new every day!
We all remember the defendant's pixel at the scene.
But really, too bad Phoenix didn't have Justine and Sebastian in this case. Otherwise, it would have been beautiful. Phoenix would have easily overwhelmed Sebastian. Sure, Sebastian has courage, but Sebastian would still be just relatively sensitive. Phoenix would steamroll Sebastian in his veteran state, and Justine would be on Phoenix's side pretty much because just of his reputation. This would be Phoenix's case to win. Tries to contact the residue shows that he has been fired recently.
Well, Mr. Wright, as far as I can tell from looking at this photo, there seems to be no issue with the prosecution's claim.
The photo. Maybe there's something in there I can use. So they're saying the defendant shot the victim in the forehead. I think there's a hole in the prosecution's argument. Clearly, Mr. Minkmore shot something else. Look, looking at this photo, another possibility occurs to me.
Yes?
What does the letter tell us? That the defendant had a reason he couldn't refuse his teacher's wishes.
Bingo, pal! That's why the defendant popped him one in the forehead.
Oh, the defense disagrees. You see, the defendant had another choice he could make. What? And you can prove that with this photo? I can prove he had a choice, yes.
The defendant might have fired like he was ordered, but he did shoot the victim's forehead. Well, let's hear what you were thinking, Mr. Wright. If you didn't shoot the victim's forehead, what did the defendant shoot? The clown doll?
Take a closer look. See? It's been shot in the forehead, too.
Oh! There's a hole in its forehead!
Yes, and a hole in the prosecution's claim. Ha! And I suppose you have a reason as to why he shot this clown doll? He didn't just shoot the doll. He shot the doll's forehead. His forehead. Ah! Let's read the orders once more, shall we? You will shoot one shot square in the forehead, which is exactly what he did. He shot the clown doll square in the forehead.
The defense has raised an intriguing possibility. That hole in the clown's forehead. It definitely looks like it was shot. Phillips, send someone to investigate this matter.
I admit I'm impressed, but I expected nothing less. Still, this does not mean he didn't shoot the victim. Perhaps he did have to shoot a forehead as he ordered, but the letter says nothing about whose forehead. This was the only way he had to follow his orders without taking a life.
The bullet hole in the clown doll's forehead does demand an explanation. It might very well be a clue, yet Prosecutor Gavin is right. It alone does not prove the defendant's innocent. You cannot say for sure the defendant didn't shoot the victim.
So sorry, Mr. Wright. How sad it is to see the mighty fall. Yes, Phoenix is not worthy of the hair. He is not hair-worthy. How sad it is to see the novice's overconfidence. He doesn't realize just how big this little hole is about to get. The
Detective Gumshoe, please take this newfound fact into account as you continue your testimony.
So why he shot the clown? He still shot the victim, pal! So let me get this straight. You're saying my client first shot the clown, then shot the victim. Hey, not a bad summary, pal! More of a confirmation than a summary, but whatever. That was really more of a confirmation than a summary. But that defense attorney seems pleased enough with himself. Do these people ever miss a chance to mock me? Well, now that Mr. Wright's gotten that out of his system, shall we continue with the testimony? I didn't have time to gather all the details before coming in here. This testimony might be my only source of information. Better pay attention and read this letter carefully. Why are you so certain? What pile of sand has Buell been sucking all this time, pal? You know how Zach and Valon's quick draw shoot him? Huh? What's that? Why those the defense specialties? Zach and Valon stand on either side of a girl, then they shoot. But the bullets don't hit her. Instead, they hit everything else on the stage. This is one of the pistols they use in the show. Got a great design, huh? The kids love them, but not as much as mine. Many boys and girls joined the police because of that pistol, I hear. You know, that would explain a lot about the police force. Luke might have stopped doing that act a while ago. The old man held on to the pistol ever since. You mean this pistol, the one in the crime scene photo? That's the one! It's a funny-looking gun, so there's no mistaking it. We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with the bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullet were a perfect match. So, you're verified the murder weapon, in other words? You bet we did!
The court would like to see the pistol in question.
You got it, Sully! Here it is!
Well, this certainly is a blast of the past.
It's a stage use of a magic, you see, but it can fire real bullets.
It looks so much bigger in real life than on TV.
Yeah, but it can only hold one round. By the way, the pistol's firing chamber was empty. And it just shows that I haven't been fired recently. So, were any fingerprints found on the gun? Unfortunately, no. Of course, the defendant is known for wearing gloves. We might say that the lack of fingerprints is, in fact, a fingerprint of its own.
Aha, intriguing point, well made.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Not well made, not intriguing!
In any case, the court accepts this evidence. My grandchildren would get a kick out seeing this. But now is not the time to turn. But now it's time to return to our testimony.
Thought I was hearing some music. That wasn't the game. It was weird. Okay. Objection! The trickiest cases often seem the simplest. Prosecutor Gavin, you missed the bullet hole in the clown's forehead. If you hadn't missed that, you might have come to a very different conclusion. Understand? Yeah, but like I said, pal, after he shot the clown in the forehead, he went in. Objection! Did nothing of the sort to the victim. The pistol proves he could not.
The murder weapon? How?
It's quite simple, Your Honor. This pistol only holds one bullet at a time. Ah! If he had shot the clown in the forehead, he couldn't have shot the victim too. Yeah! That's not a contradiction, not even close! All he had to do was reload the pistol after the first shot. Oh, where'd he get the extra bullets? They're not so easy to come by, you know. If you claim the defendant had one ready, then prove to us how he got it. You prove the evidence for once! I had a feeling this wasn't over yet. No, this party's just getting started, and I haven't proven anything yet, just beyond my good looks, and startling record sales. And utter lack of humility.
Oh, what's this? It seems that the prosecution has another witness prepared.
Like I said, her detective was just a warm-up act. Ugh! Now that the audience has gotten a taste of what's to come, they're ready. Ready for what? For a mind-decisive witness, of course. A witness who, you will find, can prove one thing for us. That jerks come in tools! That it was Zakamai who shot the victim in the forehead.
Very well. We will pause for a 15-minute recess.
This might be my lucky break. I'll need that 15 minutes to talk to my client, Zach.
Court's adjourned.
Yes, because Zach was too busy playing poker with me and actually talking about his case. After all, would that surprise you? Because after all, Zach Grumai is a big fat jerk.
Very impressive, Mr. Wright, I have to say. I expected nothing less.
We've only just begun. I was hoping you could tell me a bit more about what happened, actually.
I did not think you would believe me if I told you. Better that you discover the truth for yourself. I was thinking of you, you know. How to screw you over, screw you over, old boy.
I think we need less thinking and more talking.
No!
That night in the hospital, what really happened?
The way your eyes gleam, Mr. Wright. You'll scare Trucy.
Speaking of which, where is she?
You have seen the problem yourself. The letter.
You didn't answer my question. Where is Trucy?
Oh, she's running around the courtroom.
And then meanwhile, Edgeworth, he comes in the courtroom for some business. Gumshoe needs a ride home. Needs a ride to the station because his car ran out of gas. And he couldn't get a new one. And he couldn't refill the tank. So Edgeworth comes in to give him a ride. And then Edgeworth sees Trucy. Oh, hello there, little girl. Where? Do you have anyone that's with you? And then Lower Edgeworth can finish his question. Trucy kicks him in the leg. Not again! The one shine the board one, right?
Yes, and the reason he speaks of. I could not deny my mentor's wishes, even if it meant my own death.
Why not?
My mentor was Magnifi Gromaye. He would end me. That guy's even bigger jerk than I am. This is somehow something I will not say, for now at least. Screw my life. I'm gonna screw you.
What's this for now business?
I've done many things in my life. Some well, some poorly. But this is a cross we must bear alone to our graves.
We?
You wanted to know about the night of the incident?
Finally, this guy sure likes to take his time getting to the important stuff.
Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. That guy owed me $5, and I was sure as hell not gonna kill him until I got my $5. I stuck in his room that night at the appointed time, and found there upon the bedside table 2 pistols.
2?
Yes, the one I had used on stage, and the one that had been used by my partner, Valant.
Oh, for the Zach and Valant's quick draw thing.
My mentor had the look of one sleeping. I stood by his bedside, hearing only the light sound of his breathing, and I thought to myself, Zach, why kill this man? Sure he screwed you over, sure he has traumatized you and Valant in more ways than one, and sure he is a despicable human being that would be better off dead, but maybe killing him alive would be better. He is suffering. If I let him die a slow, painful death, I can enjoy it. I can pull up a chair and watch. It's like going to the movies. I'll even roast up some popcorn. Then I took the pistol in my hand. I can't deny that my resolve faltered then, for a moment.
You faltered? You mean you thought about shooting him? You recall there was a reason I could not refuse his request. His last such request, though not his first. His first request was, hit that old lady with my car. So there were other requests you couldn't refuse before? To be honest, I have not always been steadfast, and I fear I brought pain upon Trucy. Was Magnifi coercing his disciple somehow? Just what was going on in Troop Kermaye? Oh, old boy, you don't want to know. And then meanwhile, just Zach is thinking of just several months ago, about a year ago, where Magnifi was making him and Valant filming it, starring in an adult film. Master Magnifi. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this film? Silence! Silence! I want to see this film! I have a vision, and you will not ruin that vision, Zach! And then Valant comes out with body oil and fake muscles.
Okay, I am ready for my big debut! Volant, take that off. You're embarrassing us both. Yet, in the end, I did not shoot him. Instead, I turned and shot the clown! I pretended it was him! I took the pistol I had fired and placed it in my pocket. In your pocket? I believe if you examine the bullet in the clown's head, you will find it to be different than the one in my mentor. What were those called? Rifling marks. Yes! Well, time for another tutorial! Sorry, my second Volant voices are blended. Well, that is all I have to tell you concerning the case. Concerning the case, you mean there's something else you can tell me? Ha! Ha ha ha! You are a fascinating man, Mr. Wright. Thanks. Yes, there is something. My mentor, his eyes opened. What? Magnific Gramaille? The old devil, he was not asleep, you see. Of course, the gunshot would have woken him anyways. And there we are, last discussion, as mentor and pupil. Zach, I want to let you know, before I die, that I feel that you are a disappointment. You are one of the worst magicians I have ever seen. Granted, Volant is way worse than you are. But you, Zach, you suck. You are if there was an award for sucking, you would be the grand winner every year, Zach. Every year you would win the I Suck at Life award. But Master, really? Is this how you are for final discussion? Of course it is. You are a disappointment. Trucy, she's not even performing. Trucy's 8. Excuses. When I was 8, I was doing all sorts of tricks. I made the family cat disappear. I made an old man's legs disappear. I made everything disappear. There are more tricks than making people disappear. No, there aren't, Zach. No, there aren't. And then Roger Returns comes in for a final visit before that, like an hour before that, 10 o'clock. Yo, Gramaille, I've got some unfinished business. Well, if it isn't the farrier, Mr. Poos. That is Mr. Ruse to you. I know what I said. You are looking just as pathetic as I'll have you know. What have you been doing with life? Failing some more? Not performing magic properly? I'll have you know that I am a big producer now. I have business. I have shows. I have moolah. Take them the money fan. See, look at all this. Ha! You may have money, but you... Oh, please, you are nothing big. The only big thing you are is a loser. And you are already reached the pinnacle of that. So it's all down here from there for you. What? No! Not again! Oh, good. There we go. Single player. It was not a long discussion, maybe 5-10 minutes or so of him insulting me. And then I coming back with quips of my own. What are you talking about? Haha, Mr. Wright. Did I not just tell you? It does not concern this case. Zach Gramaille, he seems pretty steadfast to me. Or maybe just stubborn. Or maybe it's because Zach Gramaille is a big fat jerk. Dude. Yeah, seriously, Phoenix is helping Zach. Phoenix is helping save Zach's life. Make sure that he's free so he can take care of his daughter. And meanwhile, Zach, he's like, oh, old boy, you're getting no information from me. I don't care if you're my attorney. Mr. Wright, your presence is requested in the courtroom. Once again, I am in your hands. Yet Zach does nothing to help. Right, let's get back in there. April 19th, 11:37 a.m. District Court Courtroom number 7. Court is now back in session.
During our recess, the bullet was found dug out in the clown's head.
Well, that is news. And the rifling marks?
There was that time to do a detailed analysis. So they did find that the weapon type matches the murder weapon.
Well, that's not very conclusive, is it?
Which is why I'm about to call my very decisive witness.
Your decisive witness.
How many times have I heard those words?
They often
have to be far less decisive than you think. Oh, don't worry on my account. I'm quite confident this witness will do the job. After all, he is intimately acquainted with the players in our little production, being the other half of Gramaille's famous duo, Zach and Volant. Yes, basically, Zach and Volant's names are puns off of knack and talent, respectively. So, we get to meet the great Magnifi's other disciple. Yes, this is Volant's younger form. Perhaps we'll start by asking your name and occupation. Volant Kermaye, magician.
You're the decisive witness, are you? You can prove your fellow student your partner's guilt?
Fate, the grand illusion, filled with traps and tricks. Wait, the shooting took place in that hospital after 11 o'clock that night. If you're a witness, does that mean you were there that late?
If one were to deduce this logically, the conclusion is yes!
Okay, I always get the characters, don't I? I have an interesting fact for you. You see, several days ago before the crime, my witness receives this.
That looks very familiar.
Wait! That's the name letter Zachariah received! Yes! Or perhaps I should say, ta-da!
Order! And what does it say? Surely not the same thing.
Perhaps you should see for yourself.
Why, it's practically the same. The court accepts this as evidence. This is most unusual. Exactly what is going on with you folks? Why exactly was your troop Gramae up to?
By which you mean?
I'm just having trouble envisioning a man who would ask his students to kill him! Both of them told us!
It's just my opinion, Herr Judge. But from these letters, I did say he was coercing them, not asking them.
We walked the magician's path together, and in doing so, shared much of our lives. When people are so close, there's strain, a warping of relation, you might say, especially when all of the people involved are big jerks. Yet, this has nothing to do with the case at hand.
By which you mean you're not going to tell us, which makes me wonder even more about this reason they couldn't refuse.
Well, let's get on with the testimony for starters. The defendant, Zachariah, stands accused. Tell us why. Oh, I'll do more than that. For where he walks, the red rose rise, singing hymns to the miracle that is magic.
Fascinating. Though I hardly need to remind you that the evidence could just as clearly point to you as a suspect. The letter, the murder weapon, and now the 2 bullets found at the scene.
In fact, the only difference seems to be the designated time.
Ha 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 ha! As every magician knows, timing is everything! Yeah, and now it is time to get this party fired up. Yeah, we'll get to this cross-examination and then end the episode off. That night, I visited the hospital room at the time of Magnifi requested. The smell of gunpowder hung in the room, and my mentor had taken his final bow. I did not imagine my fellow student might have received the same instructions. Yet a deal with the dead is still a deal. The sweet kiss I gave to the clown. Then I informed the doctor and the police.
So you were the one who reported the crime?
Indeed, I would think. This fact alone would clear my name of suspicion. Let's not jump to any conclusions.
Yes, the cross-examination generally comes before the conclusions in this court. Oh, some of the time. But if your testimony proves to be true, then the defendant, Zachariah, is guilty.
And if it wasn't Zachariah, then the killer was you, Volant. And no disappearing act will get you out of that. Don't worry, that's your client! Which, according to the letter, was 11:20 p.m. Indeed, in magic, timing is everything. Right. Consider the illusion of teleportation. If I were to appear on stage before my stunt double has left, how would that look? Why, it would reveal the very secrets of my magic. Now that you've revealed the very secrets of your magic for all of us, let's move on. You went at the designated time, and what did you see? So, you weren't worried for your own safety at all. I mean, you smelled gunpowder, yes? Well, the shooter was still nearby. I did not consider this, to be honest. It was forbidden for a magician to have a good imagination. Really? Isn't magic all about illusions and imagination? How about this? You were the shooter, which is why you weren't afraid. Now you are the one imagining. It is forbidden for a lawyer to have a good imagination. The witness will refrain from pausing so suspiciously before responding. My forbidden imagination is starting to imagine things. Which brings us back to this reason neither of you could refuse. So it does, and my partner, he did not refuse. But Magnifi wrote the same thing to you. Why could you refuse if Zach couldn't? Because I have a wield of steel, of course! I also do this trick where I bend steel bars, so perhaps steel isn't all so strong. Great. Now I'm imagining just the kind of things Magnifi was forcing Zach and Volant to do. Volant, I require you to rob that bank, but Magnifi, that bank has a charity fund. I don't care, rob the charities, steal it, or burn those bars. So which is it? Mind if I continue? There were 2 bullet holes in the scene, one in the victim and one in the clown. You're saying the one who shot the clown was you? And no doubt my partner Zach has said much the same thing. Yeah, because whoever did shoot the clown committed murder. I better dig around here a bit more and see what I took a turn up. Mr. Volant, let me ask you about something else concerning the crime scene, namely... How many pistols were there when you entered the room? By which you mean what precisely? 2 pistols were used in this Zach and Volant's quick draw shootout, correct? 1 for each of you. You are well informed, yet only one of my old friends sat in the hospital room that night. What did Zach tell me in the lobby? Of course, I had no interest in shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night and at the appointed time, and found there upon his bedside table 2 pistols. I took the pistol I had fired and placed it in my pocket. I see no problem with that statement. Only 1 pistol is visible in this photograph of the crime scene, after all. So you picked up that pistol and fired it? Indeed I did! Alakazam! Alakazing! Alakaboom! Is the number of pistols really so important? The number of pistols is quite important, Your Honor. Very well. Please add this detail to your testimony. What can I do but obey? Okay. Okay, there we go. Just wanted to double check. According to the defendant, Zachariah, when he entered the room, there were 2 pistols on that table. 2? We'll answer that question next time. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around and watched the episode. You're a great viewer. Come back for the next one. If you like the video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do everything you want. With that, I'll see you next time. Bye.